As the first bishop of the Diocese of Charleston, John England had the monumental task of breaking new ground. His successors over the past 200 years have built upon his solid foundation and made South Carolina a stronghold for the church. Ignatius A. Reynolds, our second bishop, had many challenges during his tenure. One of the greatest was the size of the diocese, which included both Carolinas and Georgia. In 1850, Pope Pius IX granted Bishop Reynolds' request to reduce the territory. That led to the establishment of the Diocese of Savannah. Patrick Lynch was Bishop Reynolds' Vicar General and the editor of the United States Catholic Miscellany. In 1858, he became the third bishop of Charleston, and the first bishop who was a native South Carolinian. Bishop Lynch and the diocese endured the Great Fire of 1861, in which the cathedral and the bishop's residence burned to the ground, and suffered the destructive impact of the Civil War. As a staunch defender of the Confederacy, he served as a Confederate emissary to the Pope, from whom he sought diplomatic recognition. Until his death in 1882, Bishop Lynch spent much of his time raising money to reduce debt and to rebuild the diocese from ruin. By the end of his administration, North Carolina was removed from the Diocese of Charleston. In 1883, Bishop Henry P. Northrop was the first Charlestonian installed as bishop. During his 33 years, he focused on rebuilding. That included the reconstruction of cathedral and the creation of Bishop England High School. Bishop William T. Russell of Baltimore was installed as the fifth bishop of Charleston in 1916. He supervised and directed the growth of many Catholic organizations, including the National Council of Catholic Women and the Knights of Columbus. He held the distinction of overseeing the building of our first hospital, St. Francis Xavier Infirmary. Bishop Emmet Walsh was a native of Beaufort. When consecrated in 1927, he was the youngest bishop in the country at only 35 years of age. During his tenure, he established 20 new churches in 22 years. The next three bishops were John J. Russell, Paul Hallinan, and Francis Ray. Hallinan became Archbishop of the newly created province of Atlanta in 1962. Ray was installed in 1962, but was transferred 2 years later to serve as rector of the North American College in Rome. During this quick succession of bishops, Catholicism emerged as an establishment in the region. The Second Vatican Council had a transformative impact on the diocese, and the civil rights movement gained momentum, supported by the local church. Bishop Ernest L. Unterkoefler was installed in 1964. Affectionately known as the German Shepherd, he had a national reputation for his support of civil rights. It was at his invitation that Pope John Paul II visited Columbia in 1987, and he was an unwavering advocate of reestablishing the permanent diaconate in the United States. In 1990, David Thompson became the 11th Bishop of Charleston. He reestablished the diocesan newspaper, renaming it the New Catholic Miscellany. His Synod of Charleston resulted in guidelines critical to the diocese's future growth. When Bishop Thompson retired in 1999, Robert J. Baker, a native of Ohio, was appointed. During his tenure, the diocese experienced a significant growth in the number of Catholics moving south. He increased attention on ministries with Vietnamese, Hispanic, and Black Catholics, and he was a determined promoter of stewardship. Bishop Baker was appointed to the Diocese of Birmingham, Alabama in 2007. Since 2009, Bishop Robert E. Guglielmone has led South Carolina's Catholics by promoting Catholic schools and education, fostering the growth of social ministries, and by sharing the gospel and preaching God's mercy to the stranger and for the unborn. In one way or another, each one of us have served our Lord to bring the good and faithful flock of South Carolina closer and to create a vibrant church. Let us join together and proudly celebrate the 200 years of the Diocese of Charleston as one family in faith.